Hey YouTube. I've been kind of MIA for a while. Like, I think I did a review of Avengers in like May, and then even before that I hadn't really done much. I haven't really done much for a lot of this year, and nothing since like May, which I feel bad about. I really want to keep doing more. This is me coming on saying I'm back. I'm gonna really try to get more content out here and actually do this YouTube thing. And I really want to. I'm seeing 8th grade tonight in a few hours. Finally, I'm really looking forward to seeing 8th grade. That's like my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year probably. But I'm seeing it tonight, and I'll have a review up either tonight or maybe sometime tomorrow, to mark me being back and doing YouTube again. In the meantime, I originally wanted to do this like at the end of June, so it'd be like halfway in the year. Now it's like basically beginning of August, so it's more than halfway. So, but really, to be fair, I only saw 2 movies in July. I was really busy in July with like moving and packing stuff. But anyway, I'm going to tell you guys my top 10 of the year so far, which is, I guess, a little bit more than halfway, roughly the first half this year. But I am including Ant-Man and the Wasp, and well, the first Purge definitely didn't make this list, but I did see that too. In general, before I like, there's a lot of movies on this top 10 list that I love. They're on the top 10, but I was really slacking even the first few months when I was still doing stuff. There's a lot of movies on here that I didn't do a review of. I don't know. I'm really sorry. I was lazy, but so I want to give you my top 10 now in video form, and that'll catch you up on a lot of movies that I've loved this year. It's several which I have not talked about on this channel yet. And from here on out, I'm really going to try to actually be regular and active on this channel. I have a Letterboxd list of every movie I've seen this year, which that I have been up to date and been very active in. So follow me on Letterboxd if you're not already. I'm going to give you some honorable mentions. A few after my top 10. You got I Killed Giants. Most of you probably haven't heard of that. I did a trailer action for that though. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I did see that movie. That movie was fantastic. Very emotional tale about this little girl. Isle of Dogs was great. Black Panther's great, of course. Thoroughbreds was pretty good. And I'll give honorable mentions to The Strangers Prey at Night and Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom and Ready Player One and Annihilation. Those are honorable mentions. Those are definitely worth mentioning, and I think we're pretty good, but not as good as what's in my top 10. Now here's my top 10 of, at this point in the year, first, I guess, 7 months. I haven't seen anything in this first week of August. Starting at number 10 is Upgrade. This was a fantastic original sci-fi. I mean, it's clearly has some influences. Like, it's kind of, you could kind of say it's kind of ripping off some things, but it's kind of a unique combination. It's a combination of a couple of different things, and it's definitely not literally based off anything. So yeah, it's a really cool original sci-fi movie. And this was directed by Lee Whannell, who I'm a big fan of from his horror stuff he's done. This is more like almost like an action sci-fi movie, but it's kind of, I mean, it's pretty horrific in some of the parts. If it gets pretty brutal, and it was very well directed. Logan Marshall Green is the main star, and he's great. Yeah, Upgrade was a great movie. Definitely check it out if you haven't. It's just a really badass original sci-fi movie. That's number 10. And then number 9 is A Quiet Place. This was directed by John Krasinski. You probably all heard about it. This was a fantastic movie too. I love the whole world they created and the atmosphere, and the acting was great, and the relationship between the family. Emily Blunt and John Krasinski had a great chemistry together, which they should, because they're married in real life. And the kids are great, especially I think her name is Millicent Simmons. Yes, Millicent Simmons. She was really good. Her character is deaf, and she's actually deaf. So that, I mean, maybe not necessary. I mean, but it was really cool. It makes it even more authentic. It uses jump scares by its nature, but I thought they were really good and well done. And this was a very creepy and just a really great horror movie. That's number 9 on my list. Number 8, we have Before I Wake. Technically, this movie, I actually even saw it last year, but I'm counting it because for American people, it first came out and easy access and wide. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original now. Netflix finally picked up and distributed it. It came out in other countries in previous years, so if you're in like almost any other country, you're probably like, this isn't a 2018 movie. And I saw it last year by ordering the Canadian Blu-ray on Amazon because it came out in Canada earlier, and apparently Canadian Blu-rays work. And apparently Canadian Blu-rays work on American Blu-ray players. So that's how I saw it last year. But anyway, if you weren't gonna order the Canadian Blu-ray, the only way that American people could see this movie was starting this year when Netflix finally picked up and released it. So I'm counting that as a 2018 movie because in America it really only came out this year. And anyway, I do have a review of this up. Check that review out if you haven't. But I loved Before Awake. It's by my favorite director, Mike Flanagan, and he's continuing to nail it. Jacob Tremblay's in this movie. He's great, and I think it's Kate Bosworth and Thomas Jane are the parents. They're phenomenal. It's got some creepy imagery, but it's mostly it's very dramatic. It's more of almost like a fantasy supernatural drama. It's very emotional. It's great. Check out Before Awake if you haven't. It's on Netflix now. That's number 8 on my list. Number 7 is Tomb Raider. This was for a while. This was number 1, but then all other stuff above it knocked it out. But I still love Tomb Raider. I never did a review, which is a shame because I loved it, and that's a bit of an unpopular opinion. Most people reviews of Tomb Raider seem to either be like, it was alright, like it was like I feel like the most positive I heard anybody else say was that it was a solid like a good time, or like it wasn't too bad or anything. Most people seem to say it was like serviceable and solid, but I loved it. I think it's even better than that. I think it's fantastic. I think it's amazing. Yeah, I thought it was a great action movie. Yeah, one of my favorites all year. The only I am a big fan of the video games, especially. I honestly generally I'm not really a huge fan of. I kind of enjoy it, but I'm not really a big fan of the original kind of series of video games. But like the reboot starting from 2013, and then the 2015 game Rise of the Tomb Raider. They got this reboot series of Tomb Raider games going on, and those I love. Those are like some of my favorite video games of all time. And this movie is clearly it feels way more like that. It's like this is clearly more of an adaptation of those 2 new games, and they kind of mix some elements of both the 2 new games. And I loved it. It's like a perfect adaptation to me. Especially as a big fan of games, I was so happy with this. Alicia Vikander, my Tomb Raider. She is. I love this version of the character, and I thought it had a really good story actually. And the action was great. I love Tomb Raider. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, but I don't get the hate. I think it was a great movie. Number 6 is Avengers: Infinity War. I do have a review of this movie. It's the last video I did before this a few months ago. But yeah, I love this movie. I'm a huge MCU basically fanboy. You can watch me go on about it for like a while in my review, but basically I love this movie. It lived up to the hype for me. It pays off. It's like 10 years of build up. So many cool moments basically. And it's really well done. And it's a blast to watch. And Thanos was a really good villain, and yeah, I guess that's about it for now. But yeah, I love Infinity War. Number 5 is Love, Simon. This was so great. It's a great coming of age teen, like high school teen comedy basically, but it's a gay coming of age movie with Simon, who's gay, figuring out like how to come out, and this guy basically blackmails him to out him unless he helps him, and he's communicating with this like pen pal of his and he's trying to figure out who that is, and it's so great. It's very heartwarming and emotional, and it's very well done. Nick Robinson was fantastic in this movie. I liked all the supporting cast. Everybody was really great, and it was a very emotional movie. You're probably gonna cry. Yeah, I loved it. I'm reading the book now actually. Love, Simon is definitely a great movie. I don't think I ever talked about that before. That's a great movie. See Love, Simon if you haven't. It's on DVD now. Check it out. It's an important movie. It's really good to see that be a major release and be a wide release. Number 4, I have Ant-Man and the Wasp. You're probably Ant-Man and the Wasp above Infinity War. Yes, this was just like Tomb Raider. I feel like most people would just say like, oh, Ant-Man and the Wasp was like it was a solid Marvel movie. Like it was fine. I don't think it was just that. I think it was amazing. I loved it, and I posted some Letterboxd on Twitter. But in case you don't follow me there, I also said this is my favorite MCU movie now. I adore this movie. Uh, I really think better than any of the other MCU movies. It's my favorite at least. I love the character Ant-Man. He's it's either between him or Spider-Man for my favorite MCU like character, but I love him. I also love the Wasp. It was great seeing her actually really being there more too. I thought everything was great. I love Ghost too. She's probably like one of my favorite like MCU villains. I love the story with everything happened with Janet, and I love the story. I love the action. I think all the jokes worked really well. I think like basically every joke in the movie landed to me, and it's just such a blast. And they actually still have some like solid emotional moments there too. They don't let the jokes like ruin the emotional stuff. There's still some good emotional stuff in there with characters and stuff that the jokes don't ruin it. I feel like that is a problem with some other Marvel movies where they kind of ruined good serious moments with jokes, and they don't let anything serious happen. The anime movies actually do let like serious stuff happen, and there is emotional moments, and this movie is such a blast. I love it. The best Marvel movie ever to me. And number three, I have The Incredibles 2. This movie's incredible. Yeah, it's the follow-up finally like 14 years later, I think, I think it's 14, to The Incredibles, which is like one of Pixar's best movies. I don't think it's the best, but it's one of them. And this is also one of them. I think it's better than the first one. It's close, but they're both amazing movies. I think it retained basically everything that was great about the first one, and it was a very great, fun adventure of these characters again. It was cool seeing how everything, it was cool seeing what happens more with them, and Jack Shack stole the movie to me. He was great. I love the scene with him and the raccoon. Yeah, everything was great. I will say, the villain could have been done a little bit better, and yeah, it was pretty cool. But I don't really care. It was such a blast otherwise, and it was still a great movie. And number two, I have Hereditary. This movie, it's bone chilling. It's harrowing. This movie is wow. Yeah, this movie is it's very disturbing. It's gonna disturb you if you haven't seen Hereditary already. I don't know if it's still in your theater or not. I think it might be in this weird in between time where you won't be able to see it in theaters. But if it's still in theaters where you are, then see it. And if not, then see it once you can on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. See Hereditary. It's fantastic. Tony Collette needs to be nominated for Oscars. It's phenomenal and phenomenal directing and everything from Ari Aster. And the other supporting cast was great too. It's Alex Wolff and Billy Shapiro is really good, and this movie was very very surprising. I didn't see a lot of stuff in the movie coming. This movie's very it'll shake you, and it's just very disturbing. And it's masterful though. You're gonna think about this movie for days, for a while. It's fantastic. I can't say enough praise about Hereditary. See it if you haven't. And then number one is a much smaller movie. I don't. You may not have even heard of this, or if you have, I don't think most people have seen this movie at least. I know when I saw it, me and my wife were the only ones in the theater, and that's Tully. And this one, I feel like this one's going kind of under the radar, which is even for like almost everybody, for critics. Which is sad. This movie, I really think. Charlize Theron, I don't know if she will, but I think she needs to be nominated for Oscars and like other awards and stuff. And I mean, right now she'd be my pick to win Best Actress. She was phenomenal. It reminded me like damn, she's a great actress. Like she's like I think she's like one of my favorites now. And this movie like solidified that. And Mackenzie Davis is also really great here. She's and the story of this movie went in a place I did not expect it to. This movie is fantastic. I feel like the trailer's kind of sold as more of a comedy, which is not really. It's not a very fun or light watch. It's also pretty it's kind of heavy. It does have some comedic relief and some couple funny moments, but not a lot. But it is a fantastic drama. It's my number one of the year so far. I think this movie's amazing. It's kind of tough to. I feel like ranking is kind of tough, but I always do it. I always do it anyway. I keep a rank list of like everything I see. But anyway, I'm just saying some of the other ones are close. But yeah, I think this is the best movie I've seen so far this year. A fantastic movie about motherhood and what it's like to be a mom, and it says stuff. It's honestly pretty important. I think because I think people ever like everybody should see it. And yeah, and it packs a punch. It's very emotional, and it's got amazing acting, and the writing's great, and yeah, I loved every part of this movie. So that's my top 10 of the year so far, and I promise you I will keep posting things on here. I will keep doing reviews. I'll get reviews out there. Eighth grade will be next. And thanks for sticking with me if you have. If you're subscribed to me before, and if you're just seeing me now, then please subscribe to see more when I do keep posting stuff. And yeah, I'm Sky the Movie Guy, I guess. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video if you liked it, and comment and let me know what your top 10 of the year so far would be. What movies do you loved so far? And what do you think of my list, I guess? And yeah, I guess that's about it. Bye.